the service seals. As I look at the world, I'm watching these prophecies getting real. We seeing pestilence, we seeing wars, he opened the seal. Come back to the covenant, we made a covenant, we made a deal. We made a deal. All the service seals. As I look at the world, I'm watching these prophecies getting real. We seeing pestilence, we seeing wars, he opened the seal. Come back to the covenant, we made a covenant, we made a deal. We made a deal. All the service seal. We seeing wars and pestilence. I got faith, I believe, I got evidence. We convinced, more convinced than we ever been. Get on the ark and do not let the devil in. He opened our eyes, we see the end. We trust in the prophets, not CBN. We walking on living water, ark, do not get afraid like Peter, you see the wind. Destruction gon' come from the north. The foolish is looking for oil. The tares is growing the wheat. Messiah gon' come, we gon' see who get tore.
Shalom to all the Jews and Gentiles alike. You already know what the deal is. All praises to the Most High. All praises to Enikiset. To Yahuwah Elohaikum, the Eluah of Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Acknowledgement to our big brother, Yahushua HaMashiach, Yahushai, Matzah the Lamb, the one they call Jesus the Christ. So brethren, as things start to spiral out of control and get crazier and crazier by the day, and as you can see, it has not gotten any better, and it will not get any better. And when the time comes, people will be fearful, and people already are fearful. The gas prices crazy high right now, right? There's some talk about nuclear drills happening right now, right? People running around scrambling to stock up, get food, get water, right? Go in their bunkers, right? We cannot be operating in a state of fear, because fear is keeping us in this low vibration. All right, so today we're gonna be talking about these archons. All right, but first let's get a precept real quick. Let's go to Ephesians 6:12, one of my favorites. All right, this is Ephesians 6:12, and it reads, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So today, we are going to be going into the Nag Hammadi, and in fact, we're going to be going into a lot of other books. But we're going to go into the nature of rulers in the Nag Hammadi, and if you don't know, the nature of rulers is a Gnostic text. So it is another perspective of the Genesis accounts. Okay, and what's the section for this? The section that we're going to be reading from is they eat from the tree. All right, and we're going to be hitting, was it 38, 39? Well, the last two paragraphs in this section, okay? And I'm going to have it on the screen for you guys. The rulers turned to their Adam. They took him and cast him and his wife out of the garden. They have no blessing, for they are also under the curse. Right, and this is the point I want to kind of hit home here. The rulers, which are the archons, right, threw humanity into great confusion and a life of toil, so that their people might be preoccupied with the things of the world. Isn't that true today? People are preoccupied with things of this world and not have time to be occupied with the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, the Shekinah. Right, so these archons are keeping humanity at a low frequency. And so when you are in this fearful state, you are in this low frequency, and that is exactly what they want you to be in. They want you to be at a low frequency. They want you to be fearful. And so the true Israelites are going to be increasing the frequency of this planet in this mortal realm. All right, because these pastors in these churches cannot break down prophecy, right? And we're going to see right here that the word was only given to Jacob. All right. Now, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, 19 through 20, and it reads, He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation, and as far as his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So, the scriptures were not given to everybody. Okay? It was not given. It is not a universal book. It's a book that was given to the Israelites, and the Israelites will be the ones to break it down, right? Now, just because someone looks like an Israelite does not necessarily mean that they can break it down, because we have a lot of Hebrews walking around not knowing who they are, acting like Gentiles. Okay, so just because someone looks a certain way doesn't necessarily mean, oh, then that they're this or they're that. No, you have to test the spirits, right? That's why I said the true Israelites are going to be the ones that are going to truly break down the scriptures. So in a future video, I plan to talk about the program Israel. Okay, we're getting to that later. But basically, Israel is not just a people group. It is a star seed. It is a group of spirits to increase the frequency of the other spirits. Okay, so again, just because someone looks a certain way doesn't necessarily mean it's them or that's them or they do this or they do that, right? So it's important that we test people's spirits, right? Can they handle the truth? Are they willing to admit the truth? Are they willing to admit that they have been lied to, right? So let's go into the law scriptures, and this is going to be the book, the letter of Peter to James and its reception. And this is the reason why they took these books out the scriptures, because if they let this through, then oh man, the whole house of cards goes down, right? And you're gonna see why, right? Mainstream Christianity teaches, oh, the law done away with. You have to do no law, right? They say that all the time. You can just eat pork. We can eat crab, right? We can eat shellfish, lobster, right? Now let's get into the letter here. This is the reason why they keep information away from you. This is verse 2 from the letter of Peter to James. Knowing well that you, my brother, eagerly take pains about what is for mutual benefit of us all, I earnestly beseech you not to pass on to any of the Gentiles the books of my preachings, where I here forward to you, nor to any one of our own tribe before probation. So let's read it again. Knowing well that you, my brother, eagerly take pains about what is for mutual benefit of us all, I earnestly beseech you not to pass on any of the Gentiles the books of my preachings. So here right here, it's basically saying, Peter is saying that these Gentiles were not supposed to have these books, because they were going to distort the true meaning of what it's actually saying. All right. Now let's go to chapter 2. Let's go to verse 3. For some from among the Gentiles have rejected my lawful preaching, and have preferred a lawless and absurd doctrine of the man who is my enemy. And indeed, some have attempted, whilst I am still alive, to distort my words by interpretations of many sorts, as if I taught the dissolution of the law. And although I was of this opinion, did not express it openly, but that may God forbid. For to do such a thing means to act contrary to the law of God, which was made known by Moses, and was confirmed by our Lord, by our big brother, in its everlasting continuance. For he said, the heaven and the earth will pass away, but one jot or one tittle shall not pass away from the law. So as you can see, the Gentiles have taken these scriptures and they have manipulated it, and you know how like they like to say, oh well, Paul said this, Paul said that, we don't have to do the law, so on and so forth. This is exactly what this letter is talking about, right? So they are not supposed to have these scriptures, and they go on these pulpits, they go in these churches, and they're lying. They are lying to the people, Jews and Gentiles alike. Now let's go to the book of remembrance. All right, that's going to be 2nd Akhi, chapter 2, verse 57. And as you can see, we're going in different books because there's more information. It's not just the Bible, and that's why they want to keep you within 66 books, when 66 books is not all there is. Okay? This knowledge gets much more deeper than how it looks on the surface. So this is 57 of 2nd Akhi. Okay, it's chapter 2. Woe, woe, right? Woe means death and destruction. So woe to any who declare that the law is done away. For does not the foremost law that is first among all laws say that a person should love the Lord their God with all their heart, all their strength, and all their soul? And be it known this day that there is no other force than this law that can lead a person to the fulfillment of their vision of created purpose than their complete and unending love for their God, right? So to sit up here and say the law done away with, and I mean, you can just do whatever you want to do then, right? That's what they're basically saying. Because to love the Most High and love your neighbor as yourself, that the whole Torah hangs on that, right? You see how it doesn't make any sense, because these churches and mainstream Christianity and these Gentiles cannot break it down. And so Israel is going to be the one to set the record straight. Now let's go to the Third Testament. And now some of you probably like, the Third Testament, I have never heard of that there was a Third Testament. Yeah, there is. We about to get into it. We about to get into Jacob's ladder, right? We about to find out the esoteric meaning, or the true meaning, of Jacob's ladder. So this is the book of true life, and it's in the Third Testament, and this is chapter 9, verse 25. Do you know what meaning is contained in the ladder that Jacob beheld in his dreams? That ladder represents the life and the evolution of the spirits. The body of Jacob slept at the moment of revelation, but his spirit was awake. He had ascended towards the Father, seeking prayer as the means, and upon entering into the regions of light, he came to receive a celestial message that would remain as a testament of revelations and spiritual truths for his people, which is all humanity. For Israel is not a material, but a spiritual name. Jacob saw the ladder with its base on earth and its top touching the sky. This shows that the road of spiritual elevation that begins on earth through the flesh and ends up uniting its light and essence with that of the Father apart from all material influence. The patriarch saw that by the ladder angels ascended and descended, representing, listen here now, representing the innocent incarnation and disincarnating the continuous coming and going of the spirits in search of light, or also on their mission of restoration and purification of themselves, to elevate themselves a little more upon returning to the spiritual world. It is the road of spiritual evolution that leads to perfection, So every time that your spirit man leaves your body and you go back to the spirit world, right? Each incarnation you are getting better. Each and every single time, each incarnation you are getting better. Well, you should be getting better. But most people have stayed stuck, right? They stayed stuck and they haven't grown, right? So this is why we have to elevate, right? We have to be at a higher vibration. This is why we cannot be fearful, especially in these times with Babylon falling, things going crazy, gas prices going up, right? They have a nuclear drills. People are panicking over food shortage. They're talking about food shortage now, right? When these things actually happen, right? What's gonna happen with you? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna be fearful? You know what I'm saying? So we cannot be operating at a low vibration, brethren. So go outside, take off your shoes, take off your socks, and just walk in the dirt, walk in the grass, right? Drink some water. You know what I'm saying? Lay off the soda, right? Lay off the meat, right? Because the meat, when you're eating meat or eating chicken, or especially you shouldn't be eating any pork, but you're eating dead things, right? You want to eat things that give you life, right? That help you, keep you at a high frequency, that doesn't bring you down, right? Because out of all of the things that they are serving you is the fear-based propaganda on the news, right? So at that point, you're already in a low frequency. Plus, you're eating the food, right? Plus, you're listening to some low frequency music, probably some garbage from some celebrity, right? So you see how society is keeping you low, right? And earlier we were talking about the archons, right? So it's important that we stay in a high frequency. Alrighty, so that's it for this video, and I say shalom and stay strong.